So the idea is, what are we doing? Like, what is the meaning of what we're doing here today? I'm trying to say, this is whatever it is. This is an end moment in my life. This is an end meaning. Right? This meaning isn't something that ultimately builds the next meaning or is to do something else or whatever. This is an end meaning. And I'm asking you, Wes, as far as so the question is, where do we drive this thing to? Right? Like, where do we go with it? Right? That's the whole thing. The essence of the planetarium is that it can be moved. Right. It can be put in a place. Like, we can drive it to Portland, Maine. We could drive it to Galveston, Texas. Right? But I mean, that's the purpose of the overall project, right? But right now we're faced with a decision of what to do with it, right? And that is the nature of life, right? You're faced with a decision of what to do next. What am I going to say next? It's not something you can really, I don't know, kick down the road, right? So the question is, do we take it home, right? Do we take it somewhere into Patchogue where it's close? Do we put it in storage in Patchogue? Do we take it around the block and put it in storage? Or I happen to have
bring it to life.
My brother has a yard in Williamsburg that he's signing the contract on today, 7,000 square feet, 2 miles from where I want to be in Bushwick, and we could drive it right there right now. Now I'm saying we probably shouldn't do that because it's out of our reach. It's too hard for us to work on, right? I mean, we could actually go in and live in his yard, Ron.
Right.
He doesn't give a shit. We'd be the night watchman. We'd have 7,000 feet around us in the middle of the city, no problem, right? And we could sit there and work on the thing and do whatever we have to do, right? But I'm saying, nah, you know, it's 40 minutes into the city, through all those police and through all that stuff, and it's just too much to go from A to B, right?
Yeah.
So, and then, good. So I'm saying, you know, let's do something more conservative.
Yeah.
Let's take it back to Patchogue, and let's put it in a parking lot at Starbucks, and let's work on it. But Ron's comment was absolutely apropos. Let's use it. Let's not put it in storage. Let's use it. Let's drive it down to the beach and check out the chicks, and let's see what happens. Let's see what everybody thinks about it, right? Because I don't know how people are going to
bring
respond.
Space and Earth together.
Right. So what do you think, Wes? What should we do with it?
Oh. Yeah, I'm liking the idea of driving it down to the beach.
Things started perfectly, everything was great. And then we got sidetracked by COVID and by the plates and by a bunch of things. And what happens is, like almost any vehicle, there's a draw in it. They drain the batteries to zero. Zero, zero, zero. Which means, technically, the batteries are no good anymore. They're destroyed, right? If you take a lead acid battery, if you take it to zero, unlike a lithium battery, it has no life. It's done, right? Story. It could be a comedy. This could be farce. I mean, look at us. This fucking Ron just got out of the asylum today, right? They're going to take his eyes out next week. They're probably afraid they're going to kill him, so they're going to let him have a little fun, you know. And they're just humoring him. I'm half insane. Look at you, Wes. You're over the top. I mean, this is farce, right? What the hell? We're going to go do a white light experience? We're going to drive this thing into Williamsburg and put it on the side of the road and sell philosophy on the side of the road? I mean, what are we, crazy? But nevertheless, humor, comedy, is a effective way of essentially getting your message across. So I don't give a shit how we do it, right? I don't give a shit, right? I mean, comedy's better. It's just that sometimes people, I don't know, they want to laugh about stupid things. They think it's slapstick, right? This is cosmic comedy, right? I mean, what is more cosmic comedy than coming up to the planetarium and having them sell us a planetarium to do our project? You know, I can't make this shit up. I can't make Ron up.
That's
right. They're pulling his eyeballs out next week, right? They operate on him.
Yeah, they're booking again.
What the fuck?
Well, he told me what he wanted to do with it. He wanted to do this white light experience, right? It is, it was going to be this, this thing where we expose and show people this memory, this experience that many people have suppressed and never talked about. And I'm like, cool. That's freaking awesome. There's our temporary plate. How did you get this plate?
I sent away for my real plate, and because of COVID, there's a delay in the motor vehicle department. So I waited to the last day hoping that I would get my plates. At every indication they would provide my plate, my legal plate, which is insured, and all the rest of it, and they did not. So yesterday I was scrambling. I called a guy who runs he picks up cars, he tows cars, and he said, "Oh look, I'll punch you out a registration." And I go, "Okay." You know, I thought he was going to punch me out a New York registration. And he goes, "It's 150 bucks. I'll pump it out. It's good for 60 days. I said, "Good enough for me. Saves the trouble of me towing this thing." And so that's what he did. You were there, Wes, when he did it. I mean, you were out in the car. I didn't say one thing. I didn't fill out one form. I didn't make one statement. Then after I got it, I was kind of shocked. It has a watermark right here. It has a scan right here, and this also has this right here to kind of I guess keep it from being fraudulent, right? So this is, I checked online. This is actually legitimate. Got it.
Oh, look at that.
Now, Wes, that was not available to me. Cordless drills were not invented. Were not common when I was young. They were not invented. When I first heard of the cordless drill, I said, "Who would want one of those?" Look at that, beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, what's his name? Sheldrake would say morphic resonance made the difficulty of the first screw, right? Was that the universe was a unique and new moment. But once the actual moment happened, the second event is the pattern, the information content of the universe allows the second screw, the second event, to happen more easily. Now, is that an example of morphic resonance?
I'm not familiar with the morphic resonance theory. I've heard it,
right,
but like I don't know exactly what it is. It sounded kind of like I don't know. I thought it was a bunch of I just didn't understand it.
So morphic resonance says that there's not enough information in a plant, in the DNA of a plant, to have the plant grow.
Ah.
But so there needs to be this other information that the plant essentially derives from the universe in order for it to have in order to execute the pattern of its own existence.
Got my snack gear. About to move this thing. Oh boy. Look at her go! Look at her go! Hell yeah!